Hello, everybody, and welcome back to another episode of the Cron and Yote show featuring Dakota. Once more, we would like to start by wishing everyone a happy belated Thanksgiving. As you can see, we were not around for a week as we took time off to spend with our families and our Xboxes. Dakota, for those who may not remember from your brief stint in our first episode before you lost charge in your laptop, reintroduce yourself and tell our viewers a little bit about you.
Yeah, I'm Dakota. I'm a big time Texans fan, as you can see here. Having the best time of my life this year after all the last 3-4 years of hell with all the losing seasons and all. But we got CJ Stroud now, so we're good. Anyways, also a St. Louis Cardinals fan. Oklahoma State, Big 12 championship weekend, baby. Let's see. Miami Heat fan. Just love all sports mainly. Just here to talk with the boys about some sports.
Had a kid. All right. We're going to get straight into this. Obviously, like I just mentioned, it was Thanksgiving. And I'm sure everyone had their turkey and their ham and their mac and cheese and their mashed potatoes and their dinner rolls. So, what is the best Thanksgiving side and why is it the dinner rolls?
See, I think those are second. Honestly. Yeah, you're just wrong. You're just wrong. Get out of here.
Just like Yoder's camera just did, that's what you're doing if you like green bean casserole.
Go. Yeah, you're getting out of here. You're getting out of here.
So what kind of rolls are we talking about, though?
We're not. See, you want to talk about versatile? I'm talking about you can either have dinner rolls that melt in your mouth as soon as you put them in, just like Hawaiian sweet roll kind of deal.
Dude, that's the ones you got to get.
Or I want the rolls where I can go outside after Thanksgiving is over and have BP soft toss.
I was thinking chuck it at the dogs or something, but yeah, that works too.
Versatility is there for sure.
That's what I'm saying.
I do have to say, though, made correctly, it has to be mac and cheese is the best. It has to be made correctly, though.
See, I've had a brief second. I think my 2A and 2B for second is mashed potatoes and mac and cheese because you can get, like, I don't like the mashed potatoes that are chunky. I want those smooth mashed potatoes with that gravy on top. Like, I know it's not the perfect example, but like the KFC mashed potatoes and gravy, how it just smooth. I want it like that.
That's another good one though, is gravy. Tell me one thing you can't put gravy on except for cranberry sauce, and that's another sauce.
It has to be. I
mean, there's a lot of things you can't put gravy on. I'm not putting gravy on no Granny Smith apple. You know,
I'm talking about Thanksgiving food.
Oh, okay. Green bean casserole because you got to toss it. You can't put it on mac and cheese because mac and cheese is its own thing. It's a standalone.
You can, and I have.
See, look, gone again, bro. You didn't like that take.
It was a bad idea. It just throws them out.
It's my mic. I don't know. Every time my mic goes out, my camera goes out, my speakers go out. It's the weirdest thing. But no, I mean, if you want to talk versatility and actually being a good food, you're talking about mac and cheese, right? You got creamy mac and cheese. You got cheesier mac and cheese. You got white mac and cheese. You got orange mac and cheese. You got mac and cheese with little toasted sprinkles on top with some cheese, right? Yeah, exactly. You got elbows, you got spirulini, you got anything you want. Mac and cheese. You just put some cheese on it and put more flour in it, make it a little more, gritty. I like the gritty mac and cheese. You know what I'm talking about? The kind of thicker.
Here's why I disagree that it's the best. Because now I take my dinner roll, I cut it in half, put some butter on it, put some mac and cheese in between it. Then I can put some ham on top of it. And a little bit of mashed potatoes dolloped on the top, and then the other half on it. Now I've got a sandwich made out of a
soggy bread. People who like soggy bread, and that's what you get if you put mac and cheese. You put day old mac and cheese. heat it up in the microwave on a dinner roll.
I'm not gonna let it sit there long enough to get. As soon as that stuff is
it
on
gets
the
oily,
bread, it's
though.
going down the hatch.
And it's also it's about layering. It's roll, turkey, then you put the
soggy bread
or the mac and cheese, and then I guess you are put the top bun will be soggy. The top bun.
That's why the rolls that Cron was talking about, the hockey pucks, those are great for leftovers. Those are nice. That's the stuff you put the gravy on. You dip your gravy in it and you can eat 15 rolls.
Okay.
But it's mac and cheese, Cron. It's mac and cheese.
It is.
Yeah, well, guess what? It's not. But we're on to the next thing. We are going to kind of briefly talk about the MLB. Free agency has started. I believe, winter meetings are they over or do they start next week?
They're starting next weekend in Nashville, Tennessee.
Okay. So what we got here is three different teams. We're fans of three different teams. But as far as I am aware, only one of our teams has made any kind of signing so far in free agency. I know the Yankees have lost players. I don't think the Red Sox have lost anyone yet. But
not yet.
Dakota, your team has gone crazy on the pitchers. So what do we have on that? What do you think?
I think we're getting there. I love the Sonny Gray signing. I think he's going to come in and be our ace next year. I think we still need a number two, a really solid number two. I think Tink Kinch maybe somewhere throughout the year, if he can have another good start to the year in the minor leagues, he can come in and maybe be that guy. But we still need a solid number two behind Sonny Gray, in my opinion. We have a really deep in starters, but we need another guy like if we're in the playoffs who's going to start game 2. It can't be Lance Lynn. Can't be Michael.
Now it's Kyle. It's Gibson.
And I don't know if I love that in the game 2. I just don't know if I love that.
Hey,
not for a contender, especially.
Yeah,
Kyle Gibson all the way for the whole year for the Orioles. He was their ace. That was him.
Yeah, you think about what fell apart in the playoffs for the Orioles. Yep. It was that pitching staff.
Not him, because they didn't ever let him pitch.
I'm already worried about Sonny Gray being the ace because he was the game 2 starter for the Twins. So why he's going to be our game 1 starter right now if we don't sign anybody else, and if he's already not their game 1 starter, what is he for us?
I think part of that was kind of just how it lined up for him, and I think Pablo Lopez, I think they viewed him as nails in the playoffs, and he was. I mean, he pitched really well. So
Pablo
I think they were just looking at matchups and stuff. Sonny Gray's going to be fine. He finished second in Cy Young.
Yeah.
And then you go to St. Louis, right? St. Louis is a place where you kind of revive your pitching career a little bit, right? It's a pitcher's park. And so, I think it's great for Sonny Gray because his issue usually comes with, giving up home runs if he's ever struggling. So he's not going to do that in St. Louis. But
I'm just hoping we can give him some run support next year like we couldn't this year before.
Yeah. Absolutely. And I don't know if you've heard, but Cardinals are in talks with trading for Dylan Cease with 2 years of control left on him. So, that would be your ace. So you guys are looking good.
Yeah, I would love that.
The problem with the Dylan Cease thing that you just said is there's about 8 other teams that are also talking to them about trading with them as well. Someone's getting Dylan Cease, and he will not be pitching for the White Sox. That's all I can tell you.
Mm-hmm.
So, interesting tidbit when it comes to right now, even I think just maybe it was Monday, they posted another Japanese pitcher, a lefty this time. I can't remember his name off the top of my head, but his last name probably has 35 letters in it. But the point being is there is now 3 high-profile Japanese pitchers on the free agent market, and they've all got to go somewhere.
Dude.
Number 1, forever and always going to be Shohei. Number 2, you got Yoshi. Number 3, whoever this guy is. I just know he's a lefty. That's all I can tell you.
Yeah, Shota Imanagi, lefty out of the MPB, obviously. Not quite as big of a signing as Yamamoto would be, but still going to be quality. And as you know, with the Japanese guys, they've got 45 days to sign, so they're not subject to this whole. And this is a rant that I think I'm going to get into in this episode. Is the MLB offseason just how slow it goes, right? It's a symptom of a few things that I think are, some of them are wrong with baseball, some of them not so much. But it's a symptom of the way that baseball has developed since the 1930s. And it's very frustrating as a baseball fan, but with these Japanese guys, it's fun because they got 40, you got to sign as soon as you can. And so these negotiations happen at a high pace. I think someone who gets Shota, I guess that's what you can call him, right? We got Shohei, Yamamoto. I'm not going to call him Imanaga, so Shota. Whoever gets Shota, they're going to have another quality starter out of the MPB as well. So he'll be someone to watch out for in these next couple months.
You're forgetting another great Japanese pitcher on the market, Yu Darvish.
True.
He is a mainstay in any rotation. He's going to be effective no matter where he goes. So you're right, absolutely.
Yu Darvish, as weird as this might say, he's probably being overlooked right now because everyone is so focused on Yamamoto and Shota and Shohei. So you got, and it's kind of like Yote just said, it could be the middle of next season before Yu Darvish signs with somebody. But these guys have to sign right now. They don't have the options. They can't sit there and tell a team like most of these guys do, hey, I know you gave me this, but if I go here, they said they'll give me this. You've got 30 days to match it or whatever, and do all this back and forth stuff that the agents like to do with the GMs. And just, it's more, like he said, it's more fun to watch the foreign guys come in and have to sign now because really, I mean, part of it might be some of these guys, the high-profile free agents, waiting for these high-profile players like Yamamoto and Shota to sign because then they're like, okay, we want to go play with him. Mm-hmm. So now they start getting on the phones with whoever these guys sign with, and they're like, hey, maybe some of these guys, maybe like a Justin Turner, who's like, hey, I know I'm old, but I still got it in me. Let me come over for a vet minimum or something like that. Something small just to be playing with guys like that. So I think, like Yote said, it's more fun to watch the foreign guys get posted because they have to sign so quickly. And I think once the foreign guys sign, it really gets things rolling into motion for the rest of the league. And then signings will start happening left and right. So I believe our good friend here has a segment that he would like to introduce that we will be doing for all sports, but he gets baseball because he's a baseball nerd and he's a lawyer, so go after it.
Well, all right, so I've got 3 teams that I think need to make some serious moves this offseason to put themselves in the right direction. The direction is going to look different depending on what the team is. I've got a team from each tier. The really bad teams, the Oakland Athletics, they have a lot to do this offseason. I think 3 things are going to be really big for them. New York Yankees are kind of in that middle of the road 500 type of team right now tier. Obviously, they're going to be one of the most active teams in free agency, especially after an 82 and 80 season. And then the Arizona Diamondbacks, I was genuinely curious about what they could do moving forward because they're kind of in that World Series type of hangover situation that's very tough to kind of navigate. So first with the Oakland Athletics, you've got 2-3 years here to really establish your fan base in Las Vegas. You're going to be splitting time between San Francisco, Las Vegas, and I believe their team up in Reno might be hosting them. I'm not sure. But they're going to be spending some time in Nevada and splitting that with San Francisco. What you have to do is commit to a vision now and build that out next year, right? You have to realize your vision at some point. They've gone through 4 years of rebuild where they've had a personality. They've had Matt Olson. They've had Matt Chapman. They've had all these guys that they're just up and giving away. Sean Murphy, right? So they've taken away their entire vision, right? You have no idea what it is. So commit to a plan is number 1. Okay, that's the most important thing. Grow your fan base is 1. Commit to a vision is number 2. Those kind of things go together a little bit. And then third, this kind of goes hand in hand. Figure out what the hell you're going to do with your farm. You've been building this thing up for so long now. You have no idea what's going on with it, right? And it's not even a great farm either. So whether that's a symptom of your coaching staff, your developmental system, you need to figure that out, because you've got maybe 2-3 guys at the major league level. I don't know if you guys have any differing opinions, but they have like 3 guys at the major league level that could seriously be with them for a long time, right? You think of a guy like Ruiz, you think of Langoliers, and you think of Rooker, right? And 2 out of those 3 guys are old, right? Relatively speaking, for a prospect. So figure out what the hell you're going to do with your farm.
I think the first thing they should do is trade Rooker, because that's the only guy in there that they're getting anything out of.
So that's the whole thing with the Oakland Athletics. They can trade all they want. They haven't gotten any value out of trades, because where are they now, right? They're relying on guys that are 27, 28 years old. They're playing all their prospects, and they're not good. So, this is just, the A's are proof of how limited, right, rebuilds can be in the MLB if you're not spending money to bring in superstars around your young guys. They're not going to develop well, right? You're going to look like a sluggish team. They're going to lose confidence, right? And once those guys grow up and actually turn into something, the Oakland A's are just going to trade them away again, because they're in the same spot they were 4 years ago. So commit to a vision, figure out what the hell you're going to do with your farm system, and build that fan base in Las Vegas, because you're going to need it. Las Vegas is an incredible baseball community. It's probably top 2 or 3 baseball communities in the United States. So take advantage of that, right? You're very well known in the area. Fans are excited. Don't suck ass when you're playing there. All right, make the games fun. And then I guess just kind of duck your head if you're the owner. Don't go out in public. Don't start spending money now. He's in an interesting situation to me, because he hasn't spent money over these past few years, right? And so if you do want to establish this fan base, you've got to start spending money. And so I think at this point, his intentions were pretty thinly veiled. I think he just wanted to get out of Oakland. So worst thing he can do is just piss off more people in Oakland. So start spending your money. That's another thing. New York Yankees, these are a little more specific, right? These are actionable items. First, you have to sign Yamamoto. That is your number one priority. It's been Cashman's number one priority for 2 or 3 years now. He's been scouting him like crazy. He kept the number 18 open for him, right? These things are all well known. He's shown up in Japan, spent time with him after games, right? So you have to sign Yamamoto. Your 2 or 3 year plan, it has to come to fruition now. If it doesn't, your integrity as a GM is strongly hampered. And then on top of that, your pitching staff sucks. So make it better, right? Give your ace a number 2. The second thing is you have to sign a third baseman. It's really important, right? DJ LeMahieu and Peraza are not going to be your answers at third base. You've got Matt Chapman and you've got Justin Turner. Sign one of those 2 guys. And then third, you have to sign a quality left-handed batter in the outfield. Your lineup having only 1 lefty in it is unacceptable at Yankee Stadium. As you know, it's 314 down the right field line. Lefties historically, right? You think Lou Gehrig.
Legit. Agreed. I think you hit it on the nail with all three of the teams.
I think the one thing you missed, however, was the also inclusive topic of who do the Yankees need more? Do they need Juan Soto or do they need Cody Bellinger? And right now, as far as I know, there is very split opinions on this within the Yankees fandom. And Dakota, I'm curious as a Yankees non-fan, actually a Yankees hater,
Almost hater
as
for sure.
am I. What do you think, realistically, non-biasly, the Yankees should do when it comes to the topic of Bellinger versus Soto?
My thing is Juan Soto. He has been improving on defense, yes, but he's still not a plus defender. Like Cody Bellinger is one of the most premier center field defenders that you're gonna get. I mean, he's elite defensively. And I know you have Judge and you have all these other guys out there that you can play as well. But Cody Bellinger, if he brings that bat like he did last year with his comeback, that's all Soto's basically giving you every single day. If you get Bellinger's bat with his elite defense, I think it's an easy choice.
So I would argue that in his older age, because Aaron Judge is not getting any younger. In fact, he signed his big contract at the age of 29. So actually 30, I think he was when he signed it. He signed a 9-year deal, I believe. I believe firmly that the Yankees in his old age are going to they're going to move on from him in the outfield and use him strictly as a DH, kind of like they're using Stanton right now. As we all can see, Stanton has
what do they do with Stanton?
Stanton's gone, but he bats 185, barely hits any home runs anymore. That's one of the things the Yankees needed to do a long time ago. They needed to get that boy going.
But that's the thing is I think it's too late. I think you damn near have to just let his contract ride out. No one else is going to want him.
Yeah, well, I think if you have to, you DFA him and cut your losses because he's just not. He's not in this at all. As we have Yote joining us once more.
Yes.
Yote, did you hear anything that we were just talking about?
Yeah,
any comments?
Yeah, I did. First, I want to ask, how does my mic sound?
Yeah, it sounds fine.
Sounds fine. All right, so I fear that maybe what I have said for the past 30 minutes is not uploaded. So that's unfortunate. But yeah, I think your concerns are pretty well noted in the Yankees community, both of you guys. I think those concerns are really prevalent amongst Yankees fans, right? Stanton, is he reliable? No, he's not. You want him to be the bat of old. He's just not going to be that way. And Brian Cashman, even though he took flack for it, he's right. It's just part of his game that he's going to get hurt.
Yep.
Aaron Judge, right, not getting any younger. You have to look out for the future. He signed that deal, the 9-year deal, when he was 29. Turned 30 this past year, I believe. And so, he's going to play out his years here, obviously, but he's not going to be your outfielder of the future because he's going to have to move to a DH.
Hey, Minka. So since he's cutting out, I'll add this. I was going to say, so with Juan Carlos, since you're going through all this trouble with him right now as a fan base, as a team, with all this and that, my question is, why would you want to bring in somebody like Soto, who could potentially be the same type of player as he gets older, who's just a bat, but as he gets older, his bat goes away, then he's just wasted money. And this is his last deal, and you'd have to extend him on a mega deal. Orlando? He's so young. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, he's so young.
But I'd argue that last year was a concern because, like you said, Bellinger's batting average went sky high, but his exit velo was down. His strikeout rate was way down. But it was the opposite for Soto. His batting average was way down, and he was not playing near as well as we've seen Juan Soto play in the past. I think he posted a 250 batting average, which for him is horrendous when he's supposedly one of the most disciplined hitters and best hitters in the league.
His on base was still insane this year.
Yeah, I mean, when you're not producing in that aspect, I'm just looking at this like a Yankees fan would, because Yankees fans are stat box watchers, and they are constantly talking about, like, how bad was it when you first got Stanton and that dude was going 0 for 7 with 7 Ks, like we talked about last time? Yankees fans wanted that man crucified.
I don't think that's something you have to deal with Soto, though. I mean, Soto's right there with Trout when it comes to having a pitch, having an eye for the ball. I mean, he knows.
I would want to wait until a little bit into the season, if I'm honest, to trade for him, because I want to see, is that down year from Soto just how it's going to be from now on, or is he going to turn it around? If I'm Cashman, I'd want to wait and see, but he won't. Yankees never do. They go sign Jacoby Ellsbury, do a fat deal, and then they get Jacoby Ellsbury for the Yankees. Well, we're going to kind of compound off of what he just said. We don't need to ask Yoder about Yoshi because we already know where he thinks he's going. Zach, where do you got Yoshinobu Yamamoto, in your opinion?
I personally agree with Yoder. As much as I hate to say it, I think he's going to be a Yankee. I really do.
I don't. I think that boy's staying on the West Coast like he said he wanted to. Of course, yes, Cashman has done all these things for him, but one thing that Cashman knows, I'm sure, better than most is sometimes that doesn't matter. And if someone says that they want to stay on the West Coast, sometimes it's like Max Scherzer, where he says he wants to stay on the West Coast and then signs a 3-year deal with the Mets, which is very far from the West Coast.
But you can say all you want, but that money talks.
Yeah. I heard a sound and my cat's digging in his litter box. I didn't know what that sound was. Yeah, I think Yamamoto, unfortunately, is going to be a Dodger, and I hate it.
Yep. Mm-hmm. Yep. Yep. That's what. That's what people say. I think you will. I think it would take some moving around, and we would have to trade Michaelis and probably Tyler O'Neill. But yes, Nolan Arenado and Lars Newbar were just in Japan last week. No, nobody knows what for sure, but you know, Lars became very good friends with the whole Japan team at the World Baseball Classic as well. I think it's biased of me. I agree. I think, but I think where's an outside shot that we could potentially swing some trades to clear up some cap space and convince our owner to spend some money. Yep. Yeah. Yeah.
Well, we got to talk about the better player. Where's Shohei going?
Where do you think he's going, Yoder? Mm-hmm.
If the Rangers get Shohei, and
It's
he
over.
can get back to form pitching on the mound like he does, and they
It's
can
over.
get the Grom back on there, and Scherzer become dog. I don't even want to think about that.
That's some 2010s Phillies. Uh, mm-hmm. No, I think I know what the Shohei thing. I think I know exactly how it plays out. The Giants struck out on Judge and Correa last year. They want to spend money. They want to win. The Dodgers, I believe they offloaded all those players last year and didn't bring them like Trey Turner. All them they didn't bring them back, preparing for Shohei. Shohei and his agent are going to pit those two division rivals against each other until they get the absolute most money that they possibly can, and then he's going to pick whichever one takes the most money. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yep. I know.
Well, I'll tell you what was before we move on to our next topic. I will say that that argument right there, that discussion, that correlation between the three of us was very exhausting. What can we do for that? We all need energy in our lives.
We
And
do.
thankfully, Cron Media is partnered with Dubby Energy. As you can see here, we've got what is this? The passion fruit joy tea flavor. This flavor here is pretty good. Got it in my cup right now. You get jitterless energy from Dubby. It is clean energy. That's the most important part. Comes in the powder form. Can't beat it. Go to dubby.gg. Use code Croniomedia at checkout for 15% off. Mm-hmm. Nope. Can be say you're driving and you need a little shot. Pull over, dump it in. Shake it up, no pause. Put it in the cup, drink it down. You got energy. Could be at work, need an extra boost. Dump it in, shake it up, drink it. Could be gaming, need a dub on fork knife.
But
Exactly.
can't have the jitters.
Can't have the jitters. You see what that says right there? Contains coffee fruit extract.
It's true. We were
Some
saying the
good
rolls
stuff.
were versatile. That's versatile.
That's what I'm saying.
You know?
But go to w.gg, use code Croniomedia at checkout, get yourself a discount on some W. Anyways, let's move on to our next topic. We will talk about the NBA a little bit more brief than the last one for sure. We went a little bit over our time budget on the MLB, but that's what it's all about, right? So we'll keep it quick here. Dakota, tell me what you think about the Heat so far this year.
We're the typical Heat. We're not gonna try too hard in the regular season. We're gonna coast. We're gonna coast our way to a 6 through maybe even a 10 seed nowadays. We got Jimmy Butler already. He's missing games, and he'll probably play about 65 this year. Get his good rest so he can come in and carry us in the playoffs. Bam Adebayo though, that his offensive production for us has been honestly unexpected. I didn't think he could average 22, 23 points for us while putting up elite defense at the same time. I'm really impressed with him. Tyler Hero was really playing well before he got hurt. He was averaging, I believe, around 24 points, efficient. He was shooting 38% from three, I believe. I mean, the team looks good when we're all healthy, but I don't know if they want to all be healthy. I think they want to make sure they're healthy for the playoffs.
Okay. Yote, tell me what you have seen out of your Spurs this year.
I love Texans. Yeah. Yeah. Look, give it a few years. You'll be back.
Well, just think you could have been us if you wouldn't have traded DeJounte. But that's
You still
all
have the zone. You don't get
water.
Victor.
That's water under the bridge. Out of the Thunder, I couldn't be more pleased. As you were talking about, young team, but we've got Shea. That's one thing the Spurs don't have. Shea is insane.
I bet every team wishes they had him.
Yeah. I mean, shout out the Spurs for taking Paul George and giving us Shea. So we'll take that every day of the week. I mean, the Thunder, once again, there's a little more expectations on us this year, but it's still we have years worth of multiple first round picks. We're not stressing out about if we're going to be able to draw in talent because people want to play for the Thunder right now. We've got a great young coach. We've got a great young squad around a star player in Shea. We have a bit of a duo going on right now with Shea and Chet. So it's really exciting to see. I mean, I think as of right now, Chet is far and away the rookie of the year. I don't even really think it's relatively as close as people would like to think right now because Shea's been playing so much better and helping his team out so much more than a guy like Wemby. Huh?
You mean Chet?
Yeah, I meant Chet. But yeah, like Wemby right now, he's not shooting the ball very well. He's making a lot of fouls. Yes, he gets his blocks, but I mean, Wemby's just going to have to do what he does. He's just going to have to ball out this year on a team that's not very good. He's going to have to get his numbers and worry about what they can do in the offseason to make the team better because people can't put that on him right now. It's not his job as a rookie on a shit team to try to help make them better. He's not a point guard, so he can't assist people to get better like that. He's not. I mean, he's just Wemby. He's an alien. He's a freak. He's a unicorn. He's there to score the basketball and play defense. It's all on Pop right now on what you do in the off season and throughout the season to try to make your team better. So I see a lot of people saying that Wemby doesn't do anything to help his team right now. Frankly, that's not his job. His job is to show the league that he is an alien and ball out. Right now, he's worried about. It probably sounds dumb to say, but I'm sure he is probably worried about trying to win Rookie of the Year, so it makes it look validated that they picked him this high and they're still bad. So I think right now, people need to hop off Wemby. I see people on Twitter all the time calling him a bust, which I think is absolutely insane. But even your team, Dak, like you've got guys like I don't know really any of your rookies besides Jaime, but Jaime is playing great.
He's playing
yeah,
fantastic.
Coming off the bench, dropping people. I mean, he's just a scorer. That's what he is. I mean,
who would have
Jimmy
thought when we
loves that
drafted
man.
him? Who would have thought when we drafted him in the what? It was the 22nd, 23rd, I believe, that he'd be playing 28, 29 minutes a game, 10, 15 games into the season. That's
Just
insane.
the motor on that kid is insane, and you know Spo loves the kids with the motor.
He's been huge for us offensively since Tyler's been gone. I mean, we needed somebody to step up.
Yeah, he's a good pick, and I remember Dakota telling me because when we were watching the draft, he was telling me he didn't know much about him, and I kept telling him like, "You guys just got a stud. Yeah, Jaime is good. He is a stud."
I can't lie to you though. I still wish we would have went Cam Whitmore.
At least you didn't go Scoot.
Hey, I won't Scoot. I'm still a big Scoot guy. Scoot's
Scoot
gonna be
is
fine.
Scoot is
It's
not playing well right now.
Point guard's like quarterback. It's the hardest thing to come into the league and be good at. You're running the whole offense.
He could be a little bit better for being the third overall pick.
He'll be fine though.
Anyways, moving on. We just started a fantasy basketball team. None of us really are even that familiar with our teams.
We pull that up.
I'm still gonna win just because I'm probably gonna be the only one who sets my lineup every day. So yeah, let's pull it up. What do you got? Who do you got on your team?
Who's your sleepers on y'all's team? Who's the one guy you're like, I can't believe they let me get? You know?
I think mine's James Harden. With the last pick of the draft, I picked James Harden.
I'm surprised he got drafted, to be honest.
I mean, he had 30 last night. He's kind of coming back into his own.
I'll tell you my biggest sleeper pick. It's Alperen Sengun. That's my favorite center in the league, not named Bam Adebayo. That man is so good.
Mm-hmm. He is good. I can't believe y'all let me get Luka.
Oh, it's second overall pick.
Yeah,
I really can't believe y'all let me get Yote.
Yeah, bro, I can't believe
that's crazy.
Dude. I got flabbergasted when it popped up because it was telling me my auto pick was going to be Luka, but I thought it said that you picked Luka, and I couldn't. I wouldn't. You would have never seen anybody take somebody faster than I would have taken Jokic if that happened.
I was actually very surprised that John Morant fell. I got him in like the third to last round, and his suspension's only got like 10 more games in it.
Yeah, well, I think everyone's worried about if he's going to be able to stay on the court after he gets that suspension, or if it'll be 2 weeks and they'll be like, John Morant suspended a year.
Yeah, we've gone 9 months since his last incident. Hopefully, we can go a few more.
Two guys.
Uh-oh. Okay. I would have guessed Brunson. Brunson, he's really good. It's a 4-man league.
Yeah, it's a 4-man league, so there's not a big opportunity for sleepers.
Yeah. It's like I'm saying, I can't believe y'all let me get John Morant. Like it's some.
All right, so we need to move on. We need to get to the NFL because we all know we're going to spend a lot of time talking about the NFL because we always do. Quick fire. Tell me in review how your teams played last week. 2 of our 3 teams won. 1 of our teams shouldn't have won, but 1 of our teams should have won. And you know exactly what I mean. Y'all are butt. You shouldn't have won.
Yeah.
It was all the more reason for you to lose so that they move up the draft board. Or get the Bears out of their pick. So let's now hear it from the Texans fan after that.
I about lost it when you brought up penalties. That's exactly what cost us this last game. I've been going at it with Jags fans all week on Twitter. They don't want to hear it. I mean, we played the second half. We were the better team. It was hands down. We were the better team up until Amendola missed what would have been a career-long kick. He hasn't even attempted a 50-yard. He hasn't made a 50-yard kick since high school, which is insane for us to attempt a 58-yarder with the game on the line. Anyways, he's gone. Don't get me mad about that. CJ played great. He outplayed Trevor for the second time this year. In my opinion, proved he is better, solidified it. He is a top 5, 10 at the absolute worst quarterback in the league. He's proven that week in and week out. Tank Dell, he had what would have been the longest completed pass in NFL history if it wasn't for a illegal shift being called on him for 2 men being shifting when he was the only person moving. But anyways, we move. Also, there was another catch about 30 yards on the final drive that Tank Dell got both feet in that they did not count. Anyways, I'm gonna stop complaining. We should have beaten the Jags. We didn't. We're down one game, I believe, to the Colts now, or have the same record, just worst division.
I'll tell you what you told me when I complained about the pass interference call in Bedlam. Shouldn't have made it to where that one play solidified whether you win or lose.
Well, I mean, we didn't because we just missed the field goal.
That's what I'm saying. But like, I can sit here all day and gripe about the pass interference call, but we played bad enough throughout the whole game that it made it come down to where we needed that to win. Should have just beat them. I'm only using it. I don't care about the sentiment. I'm only using it because he used it on me. Matter of fact, I went to this man's house 2 weeks ago, and it was one of the first things he said to me. It wasn't a pass interference. He was out of bounds.
But the thing is I'm not saying I just brought up multiple different penalties. I will still admit at the same time those did not cost us the game because if our kicker just makes a kick, we're in overtime.
I mean, I got to be real. That kick, there's only a handful of kickers in the league that are making that far of a kick.
I don't know if I can agree because we picked him up off the street 2 weeks ago and he was short by 6 inches.
But that's what I'm saying. He's always one thing that Amendola always has had is a good leg. He never got to show it off at OSU because you were always so close that it was always a chip shot for him to the end zone. He has a good leg, but I mean, like Boswell's making that field goal, Tucker's making that field goal, Elliott's making that field goal, Gano's making that field goal. Joey Sly's got the leg to make that field goal, but is he going to kick it into the Make-A-Wish Foundation stands 100 feet to the right? That's what I mean.
I'd say there's half the
Nick Folk's not making that field goal. Let's be real.
Yeah.
You know who Bob Menery is? Go back and watch his video on Nick Folk from 5 years ago, where he went 0 for 5 in the game for field goals, and they were all 50-plus yards. That was 5 years ago. Hey, we're not even talking about the most important thing. Fat Randy's back in the league. He's kicking again, bro. I got to see that man kick live, and they call him Fat Randy for a reason, bro. The earth shakes when that man walks. Randy Bullock.
He's back?
Yeah.
With who?
I can't remember, but I know I saw him kicking. Let's find out. Randy Bullock. Randy.
Yeah. It's hard to see. Your Giants. Mm-hmm.
I forgot there was a game on tonight. I just got a fantasy notification. Yeah. But yeah, hate to cut you off here, but we gotta get moving. I'll quickly react to the Steelers. Matt Canada was our offensive coordinator for 2 years. Last game before Matt Canada, we had 420 yards on offense. Not a single time that Matt Canada was our offensive coordinator, we had 400 yards on offense. First game that he's gone, we have 431 yards on offense. So glad he's gone. So happy with the play calls that were going on. And Kenny looked elite with some of the throws that he was making. Deontay Johnson scored a touchdown. I do not care what anybody says. I will do what Dakota is doing with Jags fans, with Bengals fans, if they would like to argue with me on that. So at eChronister on Twitter, I'd love to hear it. Coaching carousels. There's been a lot of stuff going on as far as college even. Yote, your team made a hire today. My team has replaced our offensive coordinator. Jeff Levy left to go be the head coach at Hale State. I mean, Dakota wishes that Casey Dunn would be gone. But anyways, NFL, Frank Reich's gone. This is probably it for him. I mean, what can you expect? Yes, you were given a very terrible hand of players to be dealt, but they still expect you. A guy like Dave Tepper with all that money, he needs you to win games. He doesn't care about anything other than winning, which is insane because he's the GM or he's the owner of the Panthers, and they haven't done that for a while. So he's in a tough spot.
Go ahead.
What did you say?
I was saying, isn't it? It's weird that we're in week 12 and CJ Stroud's already gotten 2 head coaches fired for the decisions they made on draft night.
Oh, man.
It is.
So stuff like that. I mean, McDaniel's gone. Staley needs to be gone. I've even heard rumblings of people like Dayball getting fired because of the lack of production that they're getting. I think people got to give Dayball a little bit of slack because he doesn't have his guy, the quarterback that he wants. Whatever you think about Daniel Jones, I mean, I got to be real honest. Tommy DeVito has not looked that bad. For being an undrafted guy, he's actually looked pretty freaking good. And it's managing. He's doing what people want a undrafted quarterback who's thrusted into a starting position to do. Don't turn the ball over and score the ball, lead touchdown drives, and keep the ball rolling. Just keep time of possession. Like, that's what won them the game against the Patriots this last week, besides their kicker being Duty Cheeks. 4th round pick, by the way.
Never draft a kicker. Never.
Yeah, unless his name's Sebastian Janikowski. And then you draft him round 1. But anyways, rough playoff prediction. We'll do it this way. Yoder, Titans ain't making the playoffs.
You'd be the last year Jags.
Dakota, do the Texans make the playoffs?
I want to say yes. We have a pretty easy schedule the rest of the year, but we got 2 games against the Titans and 1 game against the Colts still. Those are all their division games. You never know how those are going to go. It's 50-50 right now. I mean, we're 1 game out right now, so I'm not sure.
I think the Steelers make it. I think it would be harder for us to not make it right now than it would be for us to make it, because we really only have one, as of right now with Massage Watson being out, we only have one real enemy in the AFC right now. Well, our division, I should say, and it's the Ravens. But if anyone in the league has ever been able to shut down Lamar Jackson, it's been the Steelers. Almost every game, Lamar struggles mightily with that defense, which is, I mean, it's just the Steelers defense coached by Mike Tomlin. I don't know, and I don't care.
It's
We are the only ones. We are the only ones who execute it perfectly.
Well, didn't do anything because Lamar's a top 5 MVP favorite this year.
Yeah. Back, Dakota, I'm going to give you 7 minutes. And I give you 7 because CJ Stroud is number 7.
Oh, I'm not going to be able to talk that long.
Go as long as you can. I need CJ slurped.
Slurp, man. I mean, the man's the best. I'm going to unbiasedly say it. The man's the best quarterback in the league. He just is. You watch the game, he's in the huddles, changing plays wherever he wants. He's telling Bobby Slowick. I mean, the man was drafted. And as soon as he's drafted, he said, "Go get me Tank Dell." They respected him so much that they went and got him Tank Dell. And he also knew that Tank Dell was going to come in and be that guy immediately from day one. He is coming in. He's 250. Tank Dell, not CJ Stroud, is 250 yards away from breaking the all-time Texans record for receiving. That includes DeAndre Hopkins and Andre Johnson, 2 Hall of Famers. That's all because CJ Stroud is throwing him the ball. Nico Collins coming into this year had, I believe, 680 total yards in his career. He is now 10th in the league in receiving yards in week 12. And he's missed 2 weeks. Our offensive line we're about to have our 9th starting offensive line this year now that Titus Howard is out. CJ Stroud has some of the best pocket presence in the entire world, the best footwork in the entire NFL, if you ask me. He does not get sacked. There's something in his brain that most guys don't have, him and those elite few have. He knows when to throw the ball, who to throw it to. Even if he's not looking at that guy, he can be over here. He's looking over here. He knows that guy's open. He'll somehow hits it. I don't get it. 5 straight weeks he's led us on game winning, or at least got us to the field goal drive, and it's just it feels. I hate to say this, it feels like 2017 Deshaun Watson again. How great he is immediately, and it's kind of scary. But I mean, just today he was the first Texans, actually the second NFL rookie to ever win Offensive Rookie and Player of the Month. Oddly enough, since Deshaun Watson.
Well, as 66.667% of us in here were very high on CJ Stroud through the draft process, we understand the slurping that's going on right now.
Yeah, and I'm the one who wasn't.
It happens to the best of us. You got smoke screen, buddy. It happens.
That S2 test. They should be sued for everything they did to my brain.
But you know how else we got smoke screen back?
Huh.
We thought we were good golfers.
God,
we're not.
We're not.
So we fit perfectly into the realm of shankitgolf.com, who also is partnered with Cron Media. As you can see, I got my sick little rope bogey golfer hat. This is one of many hats that they have on shankitgolf.com. Yote, you need to get one that says Legalize Mulligans, or the Star Wars one that they have. So, shankitgolf.com is not just for bad golfers like me, Dakota, and Mr. Yote. It is for any golfer, any realm, any skill level. It's just fun stuff to have. You can get comedy stuff, you can get actual nice shirts, you can get patriotic themed stuff, you can get beer themed stuff. Shankitgolf.com, use code CronioMedia at checkout for 15% off, or referral links for us get us 10% profit. So help us help you help yourself. Anyways, big week coming up this weekend. College football. It's conference championship week. Dakota, I know you've got it pulled up. Give me a quick fire of your predictions on who's going to win.
Let's see here. I'll
give you the game and you tell me the winner.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to go with just Power 5 conference.
Okay. Power 5, Washington and Oregon. What do we think?
I think it's gonna be a good one back out of Oregon.
Yep. Okay. Oklahoma State and Texas. Dare I even ask?
Oklahoma State gets you and Texas's ass up out of our conference. Y'all don't belong here. Y'all greedy ass. Get out of here. We don't want you.
Georgia and Alabama.
Give me Georgia.
Michigan and Iowa.
Michigan.
And Louisville and Florida State.
I'm going to say Louisville.
Okay. Elder, your turn. You're a little bit more knowledgeable in the subject. Liberty or New Mexico State? Washington and Oregon. I think, yeah, Oregon. Texas, Oklahoma State. Okay.
Wow.
Miami of Ohio. Blaine Gabbert's brother or Toledo? Okay. Boise State and UNLV. Okay. Georgia, Bama.
Ooh.
Okay. Well, that's because that's despite his father. SMU and Tulane. App State or Troy. Michigan or Iowa. Okay. Florida State and Louisville. Okay. I got Liberty. I think Bo Nix solidifies his Heisman this week when Oregon beats Washington. I picked Texas to win in college pick'em, but I'm actually rooting for OK State in this one. Miami of Ohio, I think Gabbert's leading them, like you said. I think Boise State beats UNLV. Give me Georgia versus Bama, but I think it's on a field goal. SMU, I think, is going to blow out Tulane. App State will beat Troy. I think, like you said, it's a lot closer game than people think because Iowa's insane at defense. And if they just had a quarterback and a play caller, they could win that game easily. But Michigan will. And Louisville's going to beat Florida State. Be a different story. It might be closer, in my opinion, if Jordan Travis was playing, but he's not. And Tate Rodemaker is not that guy, pal, and he will lose to Louisville and Jake Plummer, the transfer. Anyways, as you can see, this has been our first pod back from Thanksgiving and our first pod back with Dak fully and not half. So, once again,
glad to get through one.
Yeah, once again, W.GG, code Cronyo Media, gets you a discount at checkout. Shankitgolf.com. Once again, take a look at the Bogey Golfer hat.
That is sick.
Use
I need
code Cronyo Media at checkout for 15% off. Dakota, if you want something, I got a different code that you can use that only I have access to. You too.
Ooh.
But thank you guys for watching. After the Thanksgiving break, like I said, I gave us a week off so that we could spend some time with our families and spend time digesting all that food that we ate. We'll be consistently filming more. Things are about to get tumultuous for you, Yote. You're about to be moving. And here in a couple weekends, 2 weeks, I will be at your establishment. So yeah, we will keep you guys updated weekly on what we're doing. We'll try to be a little more active on the Facebook and stuff like that about posting of what we're going to do. But we will, at minimum, film one time a week as long as we're all able. Thank you guys for watching. This has been Cronyo Media. Any closing remarks?
Oh, that's funny.
Shout out your wife.
I just got one. CJ Stroud's the best quarterback in the NFL.
I just got one.
And Will Levis is a bust.
Y'all wrote Kenny Pickett off. He didn't write back.
I'm going to keep writing.
Okay, buddy. This has been Cron Media, the Cron and Yote Show featuring Dakota. Appreciate everybody listening. We'll see y'all later.